In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we take a look at how Falmouth is remembering the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. A local plastic surgeon shares stories and lessons from abroad, and we take to the streets to ask people what they remember from 2022 and their hopes for 2023. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm Michael Kasparian.
And I'm Queen Carberry Banda.
The community came together again this year to honor and celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yes, MLK's National Holiday Breakfast was held at the Seacrest Beach Resort in North Falmouth, and it was hosted by Falmouth No Place for Hate Group.
So today was No Place for Hate Falmouth's Martin Luther King Jr. breakfast. I generally attend this event every year. It's a wonderful way to bring the community together to really honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the work that he did to really advance civil rights in our nation. And this year, Reverend Nell asked me if I would MC, and because I love this event and I love Nell and I love the work that's being done, I was honored to. Today's award was the Falmouth Civic Leadership Award through No Place for Hate Falmouth, and it was awarded to the Woodsville Diversity Advisory Committee. So my chair, Halka Kite Powell, received that on behalf of the committee, and I co-chair with him, so it was really wonderful to be part of this whole year.
So significance, I believe, is kind of readjusting. I think every year we need to refocus and say, okay, are we on the right path? So Dr. King has basically given us a blueprint, and sometimes we go off and we do our own things, but it's so important to come back and say, what does it mean to have a beloved community, and make sure we are dealing with nonviolence, make sure we're dealing with love, we're dealing with building relationships, and so that's important to recalibrate, to refocus. And I love the people that were here. These are leaders and warriors, and we're just coming back and trying to make sure we're in the right spot. I like to say that today, this weekend, they had the Embrace Monument that's in Boston, and so I can't wait to go back. But I love that there's a permanent fixture of the message, and so it's overwhelming for me to talk to people that are doing the work already. So I think those are two things I would like to say. Recognize there were a lot of leaders and warriors here, and number two, this is the week to celebrate Dr. King's Embrace Museum in Boston. I can't wait. I haven't gone there yet, but I can't wait to go down there soon.
So I thought Henry's speech today was really powerful. I think that he really called on people to do the work that we say we want to do to have the beloved community that we say that we want. And so I think it was a really, really great way to start the day, because it is breakfast time and we're going to continue with our day. And so to really think about the service that we want to do in our community and make it the beloved community that we want to see.
This year's theme was how to create a beloved community on the Cape.
Just a reminder to stay informed on the latest local, state, and federal COVID guidance with regular briefings by Falmouth's health agent Scott McGann on FCTV Government Channel 15, our Facebook page, and fctv.org.
It is time now for FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from the recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
The Falmouth Select Board held a special meeting last week at the Lawrence School Auditorium. In this meeting, the board met to hear the public's input on what qualities the next town manager should hold. Members from the public weighed in with their opinions as the board took notes. Many of the public comments expressed a hope that the board would have a greater oversight over the next town manager.
So you can also go online to comments at falmouthmass.gov and submit comments to us in writing right through January 30th.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org.
After a short break, we'll take a look at a recent ribbon-cutting ceremony for an organization dedicated to helping veterans. Stay with us.
A New Year's message from the Upper Cape Women's Coalition. We firmly believe that conflicts within our homes, our community, and our country can be resolved by listening to each other, learning from each other, and respecting each other.
We greet the new year with renewed efforts to ensure that women's lives are safe, free of fear, intimidation, and violence in our homes, at work, and in our neighborhoods, no matter where we're from, whom we love, or how we identify.
Women's bodies are respected, a healthcare system that takes our needs seriously, from research to treatment to supporting women making decisions about when and if to start a family.
Women's work is valued. We are paid and promoted equally, so we are able to retire with dignity. Women's families are supported. Policies allowing women to make responsible decisions between family and work. Women are represented from school boards to the White House, and all votes are protected and counted.
We send you warm wishes to all for a safe and happy new year.
Welcome back. On December 19th, the Falmouth Jewish congregation held a special reception at their Sefer Community Center to display the artwork of Claudia Cameron, the sister of Jeff Oppenheim, one of the founders of the congregation.
The artwork was inspired by stories from Claudia's mother, Ruth Oppenheim, a Holocaust survivor who was also in attendance. FCTV was there for this moving exhibition.
This show came about when I was painting with Tamara Ziegler, one of my art mentors, in a painting class, and she said, "Why don't you all paint whatever you want?" And I painted from within my soul and surprised myself. This picture came out called Forbidden, which is in the show, and shows it was the start of the unfolding of the Holocaust story that is my mother's story.
Well, I'm very proud of what my daughter did over the years, but it also brings back painful memories which become more vivid with the longer I live. And it's been 95 years, and it still hurts very much to know how many of my relatives died.
Several years ago, Ruth Oppenheim spoke to our congregation at my invitation for either commemoration of Kristallnacht in November or Yom HaShoah in the spring. Ruth is the mother of our member, Jeff Oppenheim, who with his wife were amongst the founders of Falmouth Jewish Congregation over 30 years ago. So we had a special connection with her. She's also spoken to the congregation in the past. And we focused that conversation also around second generation, what the impact on children of Holocaust survivors. So Jeff and Claudia spoke as well. And since that time, cognizant of the fact that Claudia had created this series of paintings, we had talked about bringing it here to Falmouth Jewish Congregation as yet another way of experiencing that legacy and how it takes root in children of survivors, how art can help survivors and their children reflect in a new way, in a different way on that experience.
It's very powerful to have this show at the Falmouth Jewish Community Center. My brother has carried on the legacy of the Jewish legacy by being one of the early founders of the temple, and it means so much to me to be able to have this at the temple that he and my sister-in-law have spent so much of their lives at, and that my parents, my father when he was alive would come here often for high holidays, and my mother as well.
You know, I think it's very meaningful to be able to focus in on one 11-year-old Jewish youngster and the impact on her life and her family. Because I think when you think about 6 million people who were killed. It's just overwhelming, the numbers. But this show, this exhibit, is about one family in a small town in northern Germany, and seen through my mother's eyes as a child.
I have a great feeling of pride about my children, and I'm also very grateful to be here. I've had a long life and am filled with gratitude. And during the pandemic years was a time for me to contemplate my life and realize how deeply I have been affected by the Holocaust, and hope we will never see such torture again, though I'm concerned about the rising anti-Semitism in this country.
Claudia Cameron's paintings and her mother's stories were combined to create the book, My Mother's Story. Turning now to an organization dedicated to help veterans across Cape Cod.
The Cape and Islands Veterans Outreach Center recently held a ribbon-cutting ceremony for their new food distribution center, and we spoke with Executive Director James Seymour to learn what this means for the organization and veterans across the Cape.
We just dedicated our new food distribution center, a 1,200 square foot state-of-the-art facility that's going to support our various pantries throughout the Cape and Islands that serve veterans. Currently we're serving 4 communities, 3 here on the Cape, 1 over in Martha's Vineyard, and we're doing homebound delivery services. Our goal is to expand to 2 additional communities after the first of the year, but we needed this new distribution center to be able to support that effort with the proper supplies and resources to meet that veteran need. It means we'll be able to serve more veterans than we have already. In the last year, we've grown exponentially. I see as the economy continues to prove to be challenging, veterans are choosing between food, medical costs, housing, and utilities. And most of them are on a fixed income, and it's becoming a greater challenge. So this distribution center, along with our partnership with Department of Veterans Services, as Secretary Poppy mentioned today, gives us the resources to do that. And we'll continue to do our outreach and identify additional needs with our increased outreach capacity in the community. I want to thank everybody that came today. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the weather might really reduce our attendance, but as I mentioned at the end of my remarks, as I looked around the room, each one of these people in the room I have a personal connection with because of this role that I'm in now, and it's just amazing that what we've accomplished in a short period of time, but yet we have a lot more to do. If you need help, come see us. We don't leave anybody behind. When we're on the field of battle as active duty, we don't leave anybody behind. And as a veteran, come and see us if you need assistance. Or, more importantly, if you want to help, either with time, talent, and treasure, or volunteering, please reach out to us. We'd love to connect the folks that need help with the folks that want to help.
The new food distribution center will help the Cape and Islands Veterans Outreach Center maintain and expand their mobile food pantry operations, including the one here in Falmouth. For more information, please visit their website, capeveterans.com. Now moving on to a story about courage and the gift of healing through reconstructive plastic surgery.
For over 4 decades, Dr. Andrew Wexler has traveled the globe, putting his medical training in the front lines. At his home in Falmouth, Woods Hole, we sat down with Dr. Wexler to talk more about the profession that has helped restore many lives and to hear some of the lessons he's learned along the way.
Craniofacial surgery has to do with a lot of the skull and the facial bones and deformities of the head and neck and facial region. And that includes things like cleft lip and cleft palate, which one prevents them from appearing normal in society and prevents them from speaking normally or eating normally. Others have to do with malformations of the cranial vault, where you actually have to take a baby's skull apart and put it back together in the right formation, otherwise the child's head deforms in unusual manners. When people live with a facial deformity, when you're a parent and you have a child with a facial deformity, in some parts of the world you're considered having practiced witchcraft that your child should be this. You are ostracized from your community. A child will not be able to go to school. He will not be able to have playmates because we are very, as humans, we are very attracted to symmetry. We are attracted to attractive people. This is the whole, aesthetic area. If a child can't go to school, he can't become educated, if he can't socialize, and that has an effect upon the family because if you have a child who can't do that, and you're a parent who wants your child to do well, and you must put extra resources in just caring for that child for his entire life in your home, well, that's a huge deal. So when you fix that child, you also fix that family. And when you fix that family, you're also bringing them back into a community. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I always say, it's like throwing a stone in the water and you watch the ripples go out. There are so many stories I could tell you. I mean, these children sometimes, I can tell you a little boy, Charles, and his little brother, his brother had a cleft, and Charles was about 10, and his little brother was about 6. And they walked 100 miles by themselves across the African savannah to get to the hospital so that his little brother could be fixed. They did it by themselves. I could tell you about Chastity, who was this little girl who had terrible burns and fused her body and her arms. She couldn't rest and she couldn't lift her neck because she was so burned and fused together. She had missed a team. She waited for a new team to come to that hospital for 3 months by herself at the age of 12 in the courtyard, begging from the nurses for food, by herself, 3 months waiting for another team to come to release her from the prison of her own flesh. There are so many stories of these children. Daniello, a 17-year-old boy I remember in Brazil, you asked him, what do you want from this operation? He said, well, someday I wish I would be able to kiss a girl. The simple act of being able to kiss somebody. And he says, and maybe when I'm fixed, maybe my father will hug me, which he has never done. So you're dealing with lives. You're dealing with huge impact upon that individual person. I always find that it helps me restore my faith in why I went into doing what I do, into being a physician, a surgeon, a healer, and that interaction with people.
Dr. Wexler retired from his Kaiser practice in Los Angeles back in 2017, and nowadays he's devoting his professional time to working and teaching in the field of global surgical health.
Yes, it was a wonderful story there. Now, after the break, we'll hear more about the programs offered at Falmouth High School. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Michael Kasparian, president of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Betsy West. Not only am I a director for the Falmouth Chamber, but I'm also a longtime member.
The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce prides itself as being the community connection. Our goal is to enable collaboration between businesses, government, nonprofit organizations, our schools, public safety, healthcare, and the scientific institutions for the benefit of the entire Falmouth community.
What's good for the community is good for business, and that's why we are committed to connecting people for the purpose of preserving all that is good in Falmouth while exploring creative solutions for our combined challenges.
When you join the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, you become more deeply connected to the entire Falmouth community.
That makes good sense for you, our town, and our citizens.
Give us a call, or better still, stop by anytime so we can show you the many benefits of membership.
The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
Welcome back. Business teacher and career internships are part of course offerings at Falmouth High School, which are part of the Career Vocational Technical Education State Program.
Here's more about the courses students are taking at Falmouth High School.
The Business Marketing Pathway offers a variety of classes starting from an introduction business class to learning about accounting, marketing, personal finance. In the marketing class, I finished the marketing class and received a OSHA 10 general certification, which looks nice on my resumes. The accounting class, we've done a bunch of online activities, learning how to keep books, learning checks and balances in the accounting equation. In the Principles of Business class, we're learning through a variety of different ways. Like we're starting to learn vocab, how to read business sheets, Now we've had guest speakers come in. We're doing a bunch of online activities on paper, working together. We're learning a bunch about like the general ideas. And in the personal finance class, we've done a whole bunch of different online activities with a program called Virtual Business. It's helped a lot online. You have a little avatar and you go into a world and simulate a life and how to buy a car, do taxes.
I decided to take the business marketing pathway. Well, I didn't really know what it was when I first took Principles of Business freshman year, and then Mr. Archer would talk about it. So I decided that at that time I wanted to for further studies, I wanted to go and do a business major, and I decided that I was going to do the pathway and learn as much as I could about different business opportunities, and I completed the pathway. I was able to get OSHA certified through the pathway.
Thanks to Ryan Weber for that story. You can also watch one of the video production programs daily on FCTV's Educational Access Channel 14.
The Falmouth High School Morning News is live weekdays at 7:20 a.m., featuring news and events at Falmouth High School. Moving on, with the cost of life constantly on the rise, now more than ever, families could use some help to keep warm during the winter.
Yes, here is Chris McKinnon from Eversource talking about the Good Neighbor Energy Fund.
Hi, I'm Chris McKinnon. I'm a spokesperson for Eversource Energy, and I'm really happy to be here today to speak about the Good Neighbor Energy Fund, which is really a great resource out there for folks who might need some assistance, particularly during the holiday season with their heating costs. The Good Neighbor Energy Fund is a fund that allows folks to get assistance with their home heating, their fuel costs. And it really is geared towards those folks who don't fall into the categories that qualify them for state and federal assistance. So we're talking about those families who, for a typical family of four, fall within that 60 to 80% of the household median income. So they could make anywhere from, about $82,000 up to about $109,000 for a family of four. This is really geared towards those folks who are in a situation that's unexpected. They need a one-time piece of assistance that helps them to pay their energy bill. So one of the great things about the Good Neighbor Energy Fund is that the money goes directly into an account, and the 19 utility companies that fund this, we don't actually touch the money. The money is taken care of by the Salvation Army, and it's distributed out to folks by the Salvation Army. They basically make a one-time payment of $500 into a customer's utility account. So the customer doesn't even have to handle the money or see the money. It just goes right into their account, so their utility bill has that $500 credit. The Good Neighbor Energy Fund really is sourced through generosity of our customers. The fund is funded by 19 utility companies in Massachusetts, and each and every year we see the generosity of our customers by reaching into their own pockets and making donations to the fund. So if you're able to make a donation, you can either make a donation through those Good Neighbor Energy Fund envelopes that you get in your mail bills from your utility company, or you can head over to magoodneighbor.org, and right on the website it'll teach you different ways on how you can make those donations. And again, if you want to make a check payable to the Good Neighbor Energy Fund, you can mail that or drop it off at your local Salvation Community Center. So any donation is tax deductible, and if you need to, get a receipt or whatnot, it's all available. Head over to magoodneighbor.org, with the best place to start, and you can find all that information out right there on the website. No donation is too small. We appreciate anything that anyone is able to give, and it does go right here in Massachusetts, stays right here with our neighbors, and it really does help a lot of people out. I mean, we're looking at potentially helping out upwards of 1,500 households just this year. We anticipate an increase over what we did last year and the year before, which was about 1,200 families. So, every little bit helps to make sure that we're able to support those folks who might need a little assistance this coming winter. So depending on where you live, there's a couple of 800 numbers that you can call. I would particularly recommend that folks start with magoodneighbor.org. All the information is on right there, but there are a couple of 800 numbers for Eastern Massachusetts and Western Massachusetts to make sure that your donation is going exactly where it needs to go, to make sure that it is, going to the folks right here in Massachusetts.
For more information, please visit magoodneighbor.org. Now moving on. Michael, how is the new year treating you so far?
It's treating me pretty good now that I'm here with you, resuming the Falmouth in Focus and then getting the Christmas parade behind me. So that's pretty wonderful.
Good point.
Yeah. Queen, what are you looking forward to this year?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting to know the community much better and learning my streets, because each time somebody mentions to me, where's Gifford Street? And we are just right off Gifford Street. So yeah, that's my goal.
I'm sure you can make it happen. Last year, right before we said goodbye to 2022, FCTV took it downtown, chatting with people on Main Street about what they remember the most about 2022 and what they were hopeful for in 2023. Take a look.
Let's start with 2022. What words do you have to share about 2022 in your part?
From a local perspective or a national perspective?
From your perspective.
From my perspective?
You look amazing, and this ride. Tell me the story about this ride.
Okay, I've been riding big street bikes, Harley specifically, for the last 60 years. And last year, I decided to make a decision because at 74, I just felt that, the first thing to go is your balance, right? So I figured that I'd get that taken care of and buy a trike.
Lady, there's no way you're 74.
I can assure you. 10/11/1948. I'm 74.
Are you a resident of Falmouth?
Sometimes. This is my childhood home.
Ooh. I was bracing myself thinking you're going to say this is your summer home.
No.
I was about to say, what do you do for work?
No, my parents live here.
And are you a resident of Falmouth?
I guess the same. My parents live here, and I live here sometimes.
Oh, sometimes?
Yeah.
It's nice to have places to go to. So how was 2022 to you?
It was a pretty good year. Very eventful. A lot of big things. Graduated college. Made new friends. Kept in touch with old friends,
I think 2022 was fairly transformative for me. I, feel stronger and more creative in 2022.
Was this planned all through, or you kind of decided last minute?
Like last week, we decided we were going to end the new year married, and then we'll have an actual wedding probably sometime in the future.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And you went with it. Of course, you're going to have 2 weddings.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not really a wedding
big.
person.
Nothing big. Something more official than at the town hall.
2022, I think, was politically challenging. It was probably economically challenging for so many people. On a personal level, 2022 did not impact me in any negative sense. And I think I was very fortunate for that. My personal finances were not impacted. My health overall stayed good.
I'll start with you, Kyle. How would you say overall the year was for you?
Pretty good. Great. I got a new job. Left an old job where I was traveling a lot. So then I got to be home more. Yeah.
And how was 2022 for you?
I think pretty good.
She got married and engaged.
Yeah, true. And then, I don't know. Well, I definitely got a new job too that I like, but still at the same company. And I spent a lot of time with animals, so that's always good.
Yeah.
So it's fun, yeah.
And as 2023 is bashing at your door, what do you say?
I'm ready for it, I'm excited. I think new year, new perspective, can take account of, what I did last year.
Yeah.
I live a blessed life. I live in a comfortable home. I have enough food. I live with my dearest friend. I'm able to make a living doing what I love. Conversely.
How was 2022 in your opinion?
It was not bad. I graduated college, and I got a new job, so that was exciting.
Yeah.
So still kind of learning the ropes.
Yeah.
Hoping that in 2023 I get better at said new job.
Very nice. So, as 2023 is right on your doorstep, knocking, bashing, right? What do you feel? Are you hopeful?
I'm hopeful. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good year. I think there's going to be more creative pursuits, I've decided.
Looking ahead, personally, what resolutions or ideas or way of life do you wish to carry through?
Well, I personally don't make resolutions, okay? The first thing that happens, you make a resolution for January 1st, and January 2nd, you're tossing it out the window. Just pretty much going to take things as they come. Personally, I'm always going to try to conduct myself in a way such that things are a little better tomorrow than they are today. That's always been my philosophy.
And as we are saying goodbye to the year, what are your hopes and dreams in 2023?
I mean, it's a funny coincidence because I was hoping to work on my media production skills, and I was looking into FCTV in the classes there, just on the website, and was hoping to give them a call today. And then you came walking up, and I was like, oh, so I want to be doing more of what you're doing.
Okay.
Learn, you know, I mean, you probably already have the skills, but
we have to start somewhere.
Yeah, well, yeah, I haven't done that. I've tried doing the editing on my phone and, you know, and stuff because I have YouTube, but, you know, it's not a big deal. And I don't know, I watch the instructions and I just don't get it. And I haven't really done video editing in 30 years since I was in high school in Falmouth. So I was just looking at how FCTV got all, you know, all like they've got all of it from cooking shows to news van and everything. I was like, wow, this looks really cool. I gotta check in.
Okay. What are your hopes, your aspirations, maybe New Year's resolution if you're type of people who make some?
I don't know. I don't know what's your New Year's resolution. Yeah.
What, you're planning a wedding though?
No.
We have a property in Falmouth. We're gonna try and build a barn on it.
There you go.
Very good.
Yeah.
And have horses. Yeah, she's a big horse girl.
I want a baby horse.
A baby horse.
Baby horses over baby children.
And now 2023 is knocking, it's right on our door.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast.
Maybe any wisdom you want to pass through to others?
When in doubt, get the animal.
Thank you. Anything you want to add?
That's perfect.
No, I think that's good.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When in doubt, get an animal. I love it.
When people's temperatures start to come down a little bit, we start to converse a little more. We start to listen a lot more to each other. Perhaps then we'll start to see each other in much more of a civil light.
You one of the people who make New Year's resolution?
I don't usually, because I usually don't do them. Like I make it and then I'll do it for like 1 or 2 days and then give up. But this year's gonna be different. I'm gonna stick to them.
Okay, do you mind sharing maybe one of your resolution that you really hope to stick to?
Actually, we were just talking about this, but I would really like to start trying to do creative writing like at least once a week, if not every day. So that's a goal. I'm going to try to stick to it.
Yeah, I want to get over my stage fright and start to put some stuff out there.
You shy?
Yeah, a little bit. I rode this thing cross country, filmed a bunch of it, but didn't make a big deal out of it because I'm shy.
And do you have a resolution?
Maybe not a resolution, but like a mindset. Like I want to start spending more time on things I really enjoy. Start finding like a way to work out that I really enjoy more. I'm out with running, in with swimming. That's what it is. So
out with running, in with the swimming.
Yeah. I got a membership to a pool, so I'm gonna swim.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And you know, that's very interesting what you said, that it's not necessarily working out, but doing it in a manner that you enjoy, and hopefully because you enjoy it, you get to stick with it.
Yeah, exactly. And something that is more meaningful than just like, oh, I have to work out, but something actually enjoyable, yeah.
What wisdom, if any, whether to yourself or to others who will be listening to you?
Well, especially in Falmouth has it all. That's my wisdom, is that, you know, it's all comes out of the woodwork if you look. Falmouth has everything. It's you know, I grew up here and it's easy to say Falmouth sucks or whatever, but it's actually like as good as it gets, so.
Do you have any wisdom for yourself or others who will be listening to you?
Ooh, for the new year? Was it
For the new year.
I think just like take the time to reflect and have a new outlook on 2023.
Do things that make you happy in 2023. I think that's about it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You did
you.
great.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You did great. Thank you.
Okay.
FCTV wants to remind you that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone.
We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors.
We leave you now with the sights and sounds of the Freezing for a Reason Polar Plunge hosted by Shipwrecked earlier this month. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time. 4, 3,